Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Mojoe coming to you with episode 19 of the Podshow. Hey, I've done a couple live streams since the last time I did a proper Podshow where I recorded it and edited it, so I'm glad to be back in this capacity. So, hey, a couple things we need to get out of the way. This week's episode, we're going to do the free agency roundup. We're going to be talking a little bit about some of the big names that we signed. I'm excited about them. As most of you probably are too. Like always, we're going to do a beer review, and then I'm going to take your voicemails. Whatever voicemails I have, obviously it's kind of a slow time. There's no football, there's no sports, period. All we're getting is free agency stuff. So, we'll get to what we can. And real quick, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and then click that bell so you get all your notifications. And if you do so, you will be entered to win either the Derek Carr autograph helmet or the Jonathan Abram autograph jersey once I get to 1,000 subscribers. At the time that I'm recording this, we got 841, so we're getting there. Make sure you share all this stuff. Make sure you turn them on to my social media stuff. Right there, you can see me on Twitter and Facebook. Check me out, man. Interact. And last but not least, guys, please call the show. Call me, leave your voicemails, get played on the show, 619-736-5813. And if you get played 3 times on the show, you become a triple OG. And we have one of those today. So, hey, without further ado, let's jump into this week's episode.
What's up, y'all? This is the Condor, Max Crosby. You're listening to Mojoe's Podshow. Just win, baby. Shout out to you, man.
All right, so let's get into this week's beer. So it's from Protector Brewery. Found this beer at the store. Shout out to Josh over at Keg and Bottle. So what caught my eye here is obviously the Greek war helmet on this thing, and I thought, hey, man, this guy's got to be, in the military or prior military guy. And turns out, when I looked him up, that's the case. Not only is he a military dude, he also served in Iraq, same as me. He was over there a little after I was. Looks like it all started in 2010 for this guy, Mr. Sean Haggerty. And so what he's doing is this is the first organic USDA verified organic brewery, at least in San Diego County, and that's where he's getting putting his beers in the store. San Diego, all the even as far up as LA, but mostly the San Diego County stuff. I've never tried a single beer from Protector Brewing. The one that I'm trying today is the Organic Mosaic Hazy Pale Ale. It says it has organic mosaic hops, organic premium 2-row barley malt, and organic A38 GSU strain. This bad boy's a 5.3%. It's got 30 IBUs and an SRM of 5.7. So with all this going on, obviously you can't go to the brewery, but they are delivering beers. You can actually have one of these if you live in San Diego. You can have one of these, 4-pack, 6-pack, whatever it is, along with a lot of their other beers delivered to your house. Check them out at protectorbrewery.com, and you can see their story and you can check out some of their beers. So let's get into it. I like all beer. Okay, typically I'm not getting as much smell from this as a normally mosaic hopped beer. We'll see. Keep in mind it's a pale, so this isn't an IPA, and it's probably why I'm not getting that nose splash. But here we go. Man, that's actually a good beer, dude. I'll be honest with you. So I saw the Greek fighting, the war helmet with the scar on the eye and the whole thing, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab these guys. Not until I got home and started putting my beer away from my haul that day did I notice that the can said organic, vegan, and pure, and I was like, oh, here we go. Got one of these organic beers. Never had one of those before. Some hippie shit, right? So then I do the research, and I see that this guy is an Operation Iraqi Freedom vet, so I immediately stopped thinking negatively about his brewery. And yeah, man, you know, it's crisp. It's really crisp. I'm an IPA dude, as most of you guys know. I'm not getting a whole lot of hop. Mosaic hop is probably my favorite hop. I'm not getting a whole lot of flavor, that hoppiness. But like I said, it's a pale. But it's hazy. That's beautiful. You know, let's pour a little. You guys want to pour a little and see how she looks? Why not, right? Yeah, see, it's hazy. Get my hands out of the way. I'm like Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, so you can't see straight through it. You know, it's got a haze to it. Got, man, one hell of a head on it. I like that. Yeah, real good smell. Good mouthfeel. It's not very thick at all. Yeah, man. Hey, overall, good beer. Good drinking beer. You could sit around and drink these for quite a while. Like I said, it's just so crisp. It's just so clean tasting. Yeah, really clean. That's what I'm going to give you. It was in the fridge. It was cold. Like I like my beers. But yeah, man, it's just got a easy drinking, really smooth beer. This is an all-day drinker right here, man. If you're out smoking some meat or working in the yard or doing something like that, this is the beer that you could use right here, man. You can keep this on rotation at the house. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in the Southern California area, it might be difficult getting your hands on these right now. But check them out at protectorbrewery.com. Organic Mosaic Hazy Pale Ale. Cheers, Raider Nation. Okay, so let's talk about it, man. Mayock's been a busy man. And I think what he's done is beyond outstanding. So he added some depth guys. He added some quality starters. He added some great backups. Some guys that have, you know, last year put up bigger numbers and put bigger numbers through their career than the starters that we had last year. And going into this year, I think that we are a much improved team without even drafting a player yet. So there's a lot to go over. Let's just get into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about 2019 stats for these guys in no specific order. And then I will, before we get started, let's talk about the big money, okay? So Corey Littleton, our linebacker, best coverage linebacker in the game, something that we severely needed. 3 years, $35.25 million, $22 million guaranteed. Linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski, 3 years, $21 million, $13.5 guaranteed. Another big money guy is, let's see, Carl Nassib. So we're going to talk about Carl Nassib's numbers here, but that's a name that you wouldn't figure would bring as much as he did. We ended up giving him a 3-year, $25 million with $17 million guaranteed. Mariota, 2 years, 17.6 with $7.5 million guaranteed, and his contract is just riddled with incentives, right? If he comes in and starts. If we go to playoffs and he's playing, Super Bowl money, there's all kinds of stuff going on with the Mariota contract that I'm cool with, and I think it's going to be good for him, and I think it could potentially be good for DC. Before we jump into this, I do want to say, you know, if you follow me on Twitter and you've been on the show, I've been pretty critical of Derek Carr. I want to set the record straight on this stuff. Listen, I don't care who's taking snaps for the silver and black. If they're my quarterback, they're my quarterback, and I want them to succeed. Do I think that DC has made some bonehead plays over the last couple years? Do I think that his play has his quality of play has declined since he broke his leg and back? Yes, I do. Do I think that bringing in a high-profile guy like Mariota, who's also had some very well-documented struggles, he got benched last year, and you see what the Titans did, right, after he was benched. Do I think it's good? Absolutely. I think it's great, and I think DC can feed off of that. I think that they're going to make each other better. So there's that. I've said it, and that's my piece, man. Let's talk about Nassib's stats real quick. So Carl Nassib. So he's played for Cleveland, and he's played for Tampa. Last year in Tampa, he played a little bit of defensive end, and he played a little bit of linebacker. So he had a forced fumble last year. He had a fumble recovery off that forced fumble. Had 6 sacks last year. That's pretty damn good. 34 tackles and 11 quarterback hits. Now, I don't know. Played 14 games last year. I don't know if that's a 3-year, $25 million guy. We'll see. I think that he's got upside. I think he's got some numbers. And I think that him coming off the edge with the guys we already have coming off the edge is a pretty solid rotation. We're going to be wearing offensive lines out with these guys. So, thumbs up for Carl Nassib. I'm glad he's on board. Welcome to Raider Nation. Jason Witten. Now, we all know Jason Witten. If you like football, you know Jason Witten, right? He's been on the Cowboy squad for years and years. He retired for a year, did some Monday Night Football stuff. Always good to hear him on there. I was a fan, He took 2018 off, retired. He came back last year. So his numbers declined last year. He played all 16 games last year. Let's see. He had actually 63 receptions. Not bad. Same reception amount as he had in 2017. 529 yards. 4 touchdowns last year. Yeah, not bad. He had a fumble. But yeah, not bad, man. He's a wily veteran, and he's bringing that to the table. I think he probably just wanted to make some more money and thought, hell, man, they got something good going on in Vegas. Let's get together, man. Let's see what I can do with Chucky. So we'll see, man. Hey, maybe he doesn't even make it out of training camp, dude. These older guys like this, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen with them. But I'm glad he's here, and I think it's going to be a bonus for us, man. Even if it's just the leadership quality for this dude. Another guy that Raider Nation's a little bit up in arms about is Nelson Agholor. Nelson Agholor, you might remember, especially if you're a fantasy football guy, his name has been in and out, fantasy drafts since he got drafted in 2015 by the Eagles. He's Super Bowl winner. Last year, 3 touchdowns, 39 receptions, played in only 11 games last year. That's probably the reason for the decline. And he only had 363 yards. His best year was in 2017. 62 receptions, 768 yards, and 8 touchdowns. So we'll see what happens, man. We got him at a decent price, I would say. He's not, a top-tier guy. We gave him a 1-year deal for, just over $1 million with like $800,000 or something like that guaranteed. He's we'll see what happens, man. Our wide receiver core can only improve. So, welcome to Raider Nation, Nelson Agholor. Marcus Mariota. So, his numbers last year. Now, listen. He played in 7 games last year. So, before the season was even halfway over, he was benched for Ryan Tannehill. And the rest is history. Had 95 completions on 160 attempts. That's a 59.4 completion percentage. Threw for 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. You know, he improved. His best year looks like it was it's like his best year was probably his second year in the league in 2016. 61.2. That's not his best completion percentage, but he did have 26 touchdowns that year with 9 interceptions. Listen, I think that him coming in, everybody knows Gruden and Mayock at the time, this kid coming out in 2015, they were both analysts at the time, and they loved this kid. If you haven't seen, you know, the highlight video going around of those two dudes talking about him coming out, they both had him as the number 1 guy in the draft ahead of Jameis Winston, who ended up going number 1 overall, and Mariota went number 2 to Tennessee. You know, I think he can come in and do something. I think he's going to give DC a run for his money. He might even come in and give DC, like, light a fire under his ass, right? We got a quality backup now. And he could end up being a starter. That's all I'm going to say about Mariota. Corey Littleton. As you know, I'm not the only content creator that was screaming for Corey early on in free agency. I wanted this guy so bad because what he brings to the table in sideline-to-sideline coverage, just being a coverage guy, the number 1 best coverage linebacker in the game last year, never missed a game in his entire career. He was drafted in 2016. Let's see, he had 2 picks last year, forced fumble. He had 9 passes defended, 4 fumble recoveries. That's pretty daggone solid. And he had 132 tackles. That's combined. 5 quarterback hits and 3.5 sacks. So those numbers right there eclipse every number of any of our linebackers from last year, and maybe I'd have to do some pretty hardcore research, but I don't know if we've had a linebacker that put up numbers like that in the last decade. So call me, let me know. I don't think I need to go into too much more about Corey Littleton. He is the premier linebacker. He's the guy that we wanted. He's the guy that the fans wanted. He's the guy that, you know, that Mayock wanted and Gruden wanted, and here he is, man, and he's on the team. I just hope that Gunther doesn't squander his ability. Staying on that side of the ball and staying in the same position group, let's talk about Nick Kwiatkowski, who came from the Bears. So Nick Kwiatkowski's kind of a Gruden grinder type guy. You know, he came up, man. He wasn't a big name dude. Last year, he had a lot of time on the field due to injuries in Chicago. He started 8 games last year, got a pick, 4 passes defended, a forced fumble, 76 tackles, 3 quarterback hits, a safety, and 3 sacks. So, like I said, Gruden grinder. I'm excited to see what he's going to do if he starts 16 games for us. And just like I said about Corey, he's also an immediate upgrade to our linebacker position. Next guy is kind of a sleeper. Malik Collins. So Malik Collins is a younger guy. He's a Dallas Cowboy. Probably, you know, followed his old defensive line coach over here. 16 games last year. Started all 16. Had a fumble recovery. Had 4 sacks, 20 tackles, 10 quarterback hits, so he's getting that pressure. 6 tackle for loss. I think he's going to be able to come in and create some chaos, especially since he has that rapport, you know, with Marinelli. Looking forward to seeing what kind of trouble he can cause. Now let's go to our secondary. Eli Apple. A lot of people talked a lot of crap about this, man. He's the quiet assassin. That's what he calls himself. You know, he was drafted in 2016 by the G-men, made his way to New Orleans. And last year, let's see, 15 games. He started all 15 of those. Weird. It's almost as if they didn't target his side of the field very often, which is a good thing. 4 passes defended, 1 forced fumble, 58 tackles, a quarterback hit, no sacks. He never had a sack. He had one pick back in 2016. He had 2 picks in 2018. I don't know. Hopefully, these numbers are showing us that quarterbacks are a little intimidated and don't want to take advantage of his side of the field. I could be wrong. I don't watch a lot of New Orleans games. I don't watch a lot of Giants games. You know, we'll see what happens here with Eli Apple. I still think that we are going to target the corner position in the draft. Onward. Last but not least, this is the guy I'm going to cover. Last dude I'm covering today, and it's Mr. Jeff Heath. He's a safety. Obviously, we lost Cujo in free agency. He went elsewhere, which wasn't a surprise to me because he was a Reggie drafted guy. Kind of see how that works. He's played his whole career since 2013 for Dallas. Probably another Marinelli nod to get him in here. Started 13 games last year, 7 passes defended, 63 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, 7 passes defended, nothing else, man. He hasn't had a pick since 2018. In 2017, when he was playing strong side, he had 3 picks. So, we'll see, you know. Jonathan Abram is coming back. You know, jury's obviously still out on him. We're all happy with that first game against the Donkeys last year before he ended his season. He was very aggressive. He's that dog we need in the back. We'll see what happens on the safety position. I wouldn't be surprised if we're not done there. So those are the dudes I'm covering, guys. You know, I basically just read you guys some stats, just sharing this with anybody who, you know, doesn't have time to do the research or anybody who just doesn't really get into the stat stuff on their own. Now you know what we're looking at. I'm excited. I like these guys. I think most of these dudes are character guys. I think most of these guys are grinders. I think everybody has something to prove for sure, right? Everybody that we brought in, they have something to prove, whether it's Witten being the old dude, whether it's Apple, you know, being washed up, Aguilar being washed up, you know, Nassib had that one good year. Is he coming in to kill it? You know, Kwiatkowski, is he coming in to prove that last year wasn't a fluke? Is he going to be a household name? I think Corey Littleton's even coming in with something to prove. He was highly touted, one of the top, you know, free agent signings that everybody was probably interested in. He's got something to prove now too. Was he worth the money? And then of course Mariota has a lot to prove. If you can't get excited about that, man, you must just not dig football. I'm stoked. And I'm sure most of you guys are too. Let's get to these voicemails, guys. So I did a couple live shows. Had a good time. One of them hardly had anything at all to do with football. Just having a good time talking, telling jokes, telling sea stories. Loved it. Had a blast. And everybody that interacted, I appreciate that. So I only got one. He gonna do one. I got one voicemail. And this guy happens to be a triple OG as of today. So let's play it, and then I'll give him his triple OG love. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, Mojoe? It's your boy Dugan. Quarantined down here in your hometown of Locust, North Cat. But I actually think ever since they moved the county line, I think I'm a product of Cabarrus County right now. Let's just hope not. Anyway, man, on the free agency, I'll keep this short and sweet since this coronavirus is airborne. You know how technology is these days. I love the linebackers we signed, man. Love both those pickups. Man, I love the Witten pickup just for the simple fact, man, he'll be a good mentor for those young guys. They're already good, but, man, he'll be a good one. You don't spend teen years in the game and not pick up something, you know what I mean? Plus, man, and we know you can still get it done in the red zone.
That's right.
I like the Aguilar signing too, man. Not really sure what they're going to do with that, but he can put up good numbers if he stay healthy. But the rest of this pickups, man, I wasn't too keen on. I've been wrong before, and I might be wrong now, but especially Eli Apple, man, he's just worse than Worley, man. I mean, the dude's trash on Madden on the rookie level, but whatever, man. We're gonna pick up some big time players in the draft. So I ain't worried about nothing. I believe in Gruden. I believe in Mayock for sure. So I'm just excited for what the future holds, man. This draft's gonna be all right. So anyway, man, God bless you. God bless all your listeners, man. Y'all take care. Be safe out there. And let's get through this. Love your neighbor. See you, buddy.
Hey, man, yeah, you know what? There's only one way to get through this, and that is love your neighbor, man. Look out for each other while using that social distancing. Dugan Fife, my homeboy, Brian, congratulations, my man. I appreciate the calls. I appreciate the interaction. I appreciate all your social media interaction. Welcome to the club, my man. You a triple OG, dog.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Boom.
Triple OG.
I'm talking about. So, hey, let me do my shout-outs, guys. Keg and Bottle, Josh. Shout out, my man. Mosh, Murf, Swaggy J, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, the Capo, the newly crowned Capo, Mr. Big Raider Trucker, Raider Ramon, all my guys, man. Ron, Virgil, what up, Verge, and everybody that's interacted with me on the socials, man. Shout out to everybody who's stuck at home, trying to get their mind right here, and most importantly, shout out to the people that are stocking the shelves, running the cash registers, working in these hospitals and these emergency rooms, and making sure America gets back on her feet. We're going to do this together. I can tell you, being a military member, y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. We're going to keep y'all safe no matter what's going on. No virus is going to stop the United States Navy. I'll tell you that much. And, hey, you guys just take care of one another. Until next time, Raider Nation, just win, baby. Mojo out.